Hola hackers, ¿cómo estáis? Buenas tardes.
Hello hackers, how are you? Good afternoon. Well, first of all, Roman, I already told you, but doing something like what you've done for 10 years with more than 2,000 people here together that come here for 4 days to be with technology, learning, Internet of Things, etc. That's amazing. And making a long-lasting project for 10 years' time is really difficult. Congratulations, you deserve a big round of applause. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for coming along this afternoon. Luckily, I've been here every year. I didn't want to miss it this year. So since last summer, we've been working on 2 ideas that were really cool to me, and we were thinking about them for the RootedCON. In fact, in our Crazy Ideas team that is around, we talked about the Rooted as a very important date in Telefonica, in our unit in Telefonica. So 1 month ago, we picked up this. I feel really attached to this idea because it was an idea that was because of my daughter's fault. I have 2 beasts, 2 little beasts. One that I call my hacker, and the other one is called my survivor. It's the little one, and the elder one, she's 10 years, a little bit more. And this speech is because of them. The ones that are more veterans. Maybe you have your children. Sometimes we say, wow, what about your children? How are they? And I ask the different parents, so how many of you have children? Oh, it's cool, isn't it? Okay, so the speech has to do with my daughters. And it has to do with them because I've made the mistake or successfully I've exposed them a lot to technology, and they love technology. I'm not of the ones who believe that they don't have to use technology. I spend a lot of time with technology with them, and I do crazy things with technology. This is a video of one of my speeches 2 years ago in front of 1,000 directors of Telefonica Group in at an auditorium, the Juan Carlos I Park. There's a video, so that we can listen to the audio file too. Okay, so now we're going to test Aura in real time with a real television, and to make it work. And for you to see that there's no bugs, there's no trap, I asked for a volunteer, not belonging to our generation, but to next generation, who are the people who will use all our technology. So, if you can put the TV on the screen, please, if you're so kind. Okay, that's it. Any volunteer, please, that could come here to make the demo? Okay, 1 volunteer, and very young, by the way. Come here. Okay, so this is a smartphone, this is a TV that we have here. Do you like watching TV? What's your name? Leire. Do we know each other? No, Daddy. So there's a TV, and we don't have remote control. And we don't have a command interface, we don't have any mechanism. The only thing we have is the Movistar Plus app that you can see on the screen, as our customers will have it, and Aura. So, beforehand, do you know who Matilda is? No? You don't need to. We are in the 21st century. Okay, so just put a channel that you like. Or please, put channel Disney Channel. So can you put the TV here again on the screen? Yeah, that's it, thank you. No, but we won't watch Disney because Daddy doesn't like Disney. Daddy likes another channel. Or please record it. Adding it up to your recordings. Accept. Okay, so please put our favorite channel, the one that we both like. Please put channel 0. Putting channel 0 on your TV, but what program, what show is this? Aura, what are we watching? You're watching El Último Gran Mago in 0, but it has already started. It's not worth it. Aura, please, put it from the beginning. Requesting reproduction from the beginning. Well, but this, I don't like this movie. Why don't we watch that movie that Daddy likes that much? Aura, please, put... Put the bride to be princess, please. Yeah, but Daddy has a problem with English. And every movie, we have to watch every movie in English. Aura, please, we want to see it in original version. Okay. I'm going to broadcast the original version, but as Daddy doesn't have a good ear either, we need help. Please tell Aura to help us. Aura, be good and turn subtitles on. Activating subtitles. Okay. So TV is great, you're having a great time watching TV, but you should be at school studying. So you turn it off and go and learn a little bit. Switch it off. Okay, a big round of applause. She has done a great job. She does it better than me. Well, what you can see there, it was the Telefonica directors meeting. We still hadn't launched Aura, and it was not under production. Now it is the application it has. You saw that there were bugs in the transcription because we use spell check as one of the services to recognize mistakes, etc. And I didn't know how to tell everybody why we were doing Aura and where it was going to and why we had to do it in Telefonica, why we had to create APIs, etc. And in 4 minutes, well, I was absolutely scared. And after uploading it, just tell her not to use technology. But I have another one who is my survivor. My survivor is now 5 years old. She's 5 years old, but she doesn't know it. She thinks that she's as old as her sister, so she adores technology, and I've had to do some things with her. This just lasts 50 seconds, but it's an ad that I shot with my survivor. You can see Cálico Electrónico on the USB flash disk. Everything ready to the game? Come on. Okay, let's turn TV on. Okay, Aura, broadcast football. Enjoy football with Aura. This is the small one, and she is an Atlético de Madrid fan. And now I can tell them that I'm shooting a video because they want me to take them with me. So things that they ask me are the ones that your children ask you for. I want an iPhone. Why do you have this and I can't? I don't want YouTube key. I don't want TikTok. I want Crush. Daddy, can I ask you something? I mean, have you watched Momo? Everybody has watched that in school. So, are your children like this? Are they driving you crazy? Well, the small one that doesn't know that is 5 years old is learning how to write with a phonetic system. She brought this text. I challenge you to decode it, and it says, "Daddy, can we go and watch Mary Poppins, please? I love you." Of course, we went to watch Mary Poppins. So the point is that last summer, being a holiday, etc., They wanted to watch things on the internet, and I was wondering what can I do to protect them, to guarantee that they don't have phishing, if the Wi-Fi network is safe, if nobody's touching us, the DNSs, etc. So how can I do to guarantee the connection safety? So you could strengthen the endpoint, that is the most normal way. But thinking about how to fix all these problems, while I was on holiday, something came to my mind, and since I joined Telefonica, I've been playing with something that I love, and these are second channels. Thinking about all the network attacks that we had gone through many years ago, we have this. Well, most of the attacks are detected when you make a verification with another PC in parallel. If you have a computer that is being attacked with another connection, with a separate PC, you can connect using a second channel. So thinking about this, we started to use the ideas that we had. Since we joined Telefonica, the idea of working with a second channel that was not compromised was something that was in our mind. We started with the technology, something silly that we eventually launched as a product for situations where people didn't have internet because there was, for example, a flood, or the antennas had broken down, and people had an emergency. And we called it Pigram initially. We changed the safe post name initially. You pair token out with your service account, tokens out of Twitter, Outlook, etc. And from that moment on, when you don't have connection, what we did was to include a service that is listening through SMS, so the mobile app translates your message to the SMS channel, and from that channel it comes to our proxy that listens through the SMS and use the token out to the network that you want. So you can send emails, you can send tweets, you can do everything as if it was an SMS. So these are short messages, and we use a system where we code with a token. We through an last ATP, we generate a long list of messages, but you don't have to worry. If we have 50 SMSs, that's transparent, and the tool does it. So we did this as a parallel channel when there was an emergency situation and you couldn't connect to the internet, to tell people that you were okay, that you were not affected by an earthquake, flood, or whatever. We kept on working, and before holiday, I luckily went to watch Vuelta a España, the cycling championship, and it really caught my attention, because when you are watching the cyclists, they usually go through areas where there is no coverage, there is no 3G, there is no G at all. So in many environments we had GSM coverage that gave us a possibility of sending SMS messages. So when you are there, they need a chat, because there are teams that have the food, there are 30 kilometers away, the people that are on the finish line, so they need something like, for example, FaceTime, but FaceTime doesn't work because it only works from an end to end. So when there's no internet connection, the e-message, not FaceTime, but e-message makes a downgrade to SMS, but it's just one-to-one, so it was not valid for everybody. So we did this using what we've created that's called Stack SMS, that is an IHAB of 11 Pathy. We created a chat that always tries to maximize the connection. It's checking whether the people in that chat have internet, 3G, or a Wi-Fi, or whatever. And if they don't, they send messages through SMS, so that we were able to maximize the connectivity in an environment that was very important for them, because they are climbing mountains without coverage, etc. And we did this with this application. So as you can see, we switch internet off and messages still work. There's no problem at all. We can put it in flight mode, and that's it. There's no more issues. It's published, and you can use it for many things. other trick and other ideas that we had to use it for safety purposes was for IoT environments that were being attacked by a service negation attack. And in order to take control, what we did was this. Here you can find an IoT device. In this case, it is a Raspberry. Well, there's a network attack, but as it have a SIM module, we can take control and we can restore, we can reset it, we can restore it to the original situation, and we have the internet connection if there's no problem, but if there's any problem, we have that channel. It's like some kind of shield to avoid the service refusals, because for many industrial environments, that's key. I mean, the fact of having control of what's going on is key. We presented this at the Mobile World Congress this year. This was done by my Crazy Ideas team, and we can control everything with the little lights, etc. So the idea of the stack SMS, well, it's just an abstraction layer to send messages through SMS, and it's much more comfortable so that you don't have to schedule all the SMSs. We have created the protocols, etc. So you have the possibility of using them in your app, and you can do all type of things. This is Hangman game with SMSs. It's an app that communicates using SMS messages, and it doesn't matter whether it's one or some. You can always have this connection. So I guess that you know that many of the packages have unlimited messages. So they're for free. So for environments where you don't have data, they could be useful, and as a second channel, a protection channel. Thinking about how protecting my hacker and my survivor with these second channel idea, one of the things that came to our minds is what we have implemented in Telefónica in Spain. We have a system in 11 Path that we've implemented at every Fusion customers' homes. It's free, and what we're doing is that with network protection systems, we can detect malware, we can avoid attacks, etc. And clients only have to activate it. It's for free, and we have. Well, it's surprising that 50% of dwellings in Spain, 50% of dwellings in Spain suffer any type of infection, and that's huge. There's a service that we include. You can activate it from smart Wi-Fi app. You can manage your router. You can include safety or security mechanisms, but you can install that application on your smartphone so that although you're connected through your Wi-Fi or through the LTE network, your devices will be protected. But in this case, we're using the same channel. We had the same channel. So the question was, how can we take this or how can we use this to detect attacks in the channel when we are doing it? So the idea was to use two channels. If we use two channels and we automate the verifications that we would do manually, so what would you look at to know if it's a phishing, or to know whether if it's a spoofing network, or what would you do to see if it has a crypto meaning on the website, or what would you do if you had to see if one website has a fake digital certificate, or if there was no HTTPS headers or whatever? What would you do? You would take the data, you would bring them, and you would be able to do it manually. So what we were thinking of is how to do this. And I thought about the most absurd thing ever. And I said, well, this is so absurd that somebody must have come up with this. And no, the thing is that it wasn't. It's a silly idea. It's to bring the browser, my daughter's browser, to pair it with a component through Bluetooth to my cell phone, and my cell phone connected through mobile connection. It didn't use the Wi-Fi. I have a different channel, Bluetooth, and after the LTE connection, or the connection that I'm using for the cell phone, and through this Bluetooth channel, I would receive everything that a computer is watching: IP, DNS certificates, HTTPS headers, websites, etc.
I got it from the browser, and in the case of the cloud or in the case of the mobile device, I can connect to the site and can check if it is really what it should be there. It's very simple, straightforward, really, no big deal then. So, and this is something that wasn't achieved, wasn't created yet, and we decided to extend this to other cases. You can use it for yourself. I mean, you go to a hotel, you have a virtual private network, and you get connected to this Wi-Fi with your computer, not to have problems with your cell phone. You get connected to the Wi-Fi, but on top of the endpoint, I connect my cell phone to my computer, and I check that what I see here is exactly what I should see. So this is the first approach, only mobile, but then we thought it would be fantastic if we could have devices at home, and if I could use it at the office or at home, or we could have this second factor web browsing exactly checking that you're getting to what you should get. I mean, the information is right. So we had this check. We could have had other tests connecting this to the movie Star Home or whatever loudspeaker to see you have the proper connection, proper connectivity. We have a plugin with an agent that receives the data that are interesting for us, DNS, the domain name and everything. It goes to the controller that sends everything to the internet. The second factor will browsing, will use the connection and a second channel, and when we get alerts, and it triggers alarms. If we get alarm because there is an attack, then we send a message through Bluetooth to the extension of this browser saying, "Call Dad, there is something wrong. Call Dad, there is something wrong." So for my two daughters, that will be great. How does it work? Well, it is something like this. For each request, we send information on the domain. We have identifier. We know information on certificates, DNS, headers, the timestamp, and so on and so forth. To determine the type of attacks, it goes via Bluetooth out of the system, and what we'll get is an answer telling us if one of the plugins, one of the attackers has been detected. It's simple as that. Of course, for detecting attacks on the net. But of course, it is exactly like in whatever endpoint. If it is a system, it could be manipulated. But if it is a network attack, then it is easy to extend this and to do it your way. We have a demo here to show it to you. We have a machine here, Linux, and we're going to have a plugins of BetterCap to conduct attacks, and we will see the experience with this browser to think that I've done this for my two daughters, the hacker and the survivor, my two little daughters. And we see here, it is a very simple, very straightforward. We browse, we go anywhere, and we see what happens when we are browsing on the internet. And here we see alert, and it's call daddy, ARS message, ARPS in red. Call daddy, there's something wrong, call daddy. If we move on to the other, we have the DNS spoofing and the domain name server spoofing. We have this DNS spoofing. We change it here. Now we go to another domain, to a domain where they have changed everything. It is not my blog, it's another one. There is a Chuck Norris, you know that I've got this picture with Chuck Norris. And we detect it with a parallel control, and we have the alert. Call daddy. You have a DNS spoofing here. So this is a crypto miner. We have information here. We need information. We're visiting the page. We're going to send information on the second factor web browsing, the channel, and on the cloud. We have all the tests, all the checks. We see everything. And then automatically we have call daddy, and it blocks the browsing. It is good when they want to work with us and they call you. If they call you back, that's a big problem, big deal anyway. So we have here the bypass HSTS. Let's suppose we are deprived from the header and we get a false certificate, and then we are here in this 11 path wrong website, and then we go here into the site. The header has been removed, the HSTS has been modified, and we see on our cell phone the way we have those big threats. So it's easy, isn't it? Easy peasy. We have here, it's as simple as the control by the father and mother of the child. We have this control and access denial. It's a service denial in this case. And here, call daddy, call daddy, call daddy. That doesn't go well. It's something wrong. So a hacker's got to do what daddy's got to do, as I say here. They use a parallel channel for enhancing protection, and you can construct something similar. We looked on the internet to see if there were similar solutions, and no one had developed this. We got a patent. We had requested for this after all the checks and verifications. So a hacker's got to do what a daddy's got to do, to use technology to take care of children. Thank you for your kind attention.